What is up, everybody? We're back with another live show tonight. The music's banging. Y'all see the headlines. A lot of stuff going on in the world. Might talk about some of it tonight. See if anyone hits us on the line on the call-in line, or I think I even got the Discord up. If you don't know, we do have a Discord for the Bravo Zulu podcast. It's not jumping at all, but there's a couple what do they call that server? It's a one server with other servers or something, right? So there's different things on there, right? So if you want to join in on there, you can always jump in on there too. Still figuring. I know how Discord works with the channels and everything like that. Me and the boys use it for game chat on PlayStation. I haven't ever used it much here, but I'd like to expand that and offer that out to you all, because it's a good way for it to do that call-in, right? Because it's internet-based. If you got on the voice channel, you could just jump on the voice channel, and then we could talk right there. And that person I got a ban. No, what up, Gary? How you doing, brother? Hey, thanks for the call earlier today, Gary. You missed me during my pump time. Now I was just going for my normal brisk walk, right? And now we got Braden's Thoughts. Braden's Thoughts, how are you tonight? Thanks for tuning in, all right? As I was just talking about the Discord channel, right? So there's a Discord channel. If you wanted to, there's voice channels on there. So if you wanted to get on the voice channel, you could get on there, and then it's like you're part of this, and you could talk, and I could drop you the invite, things like that, for those who've done that before. I've been scheming through Reddit. Big NAVADMIN dropped. Yesterday, day before. I was reading through some of it. Or was it today? Some days I forget what is going on because I'm just sitting at my office desk not doing nothing. If you follow me on my personal socials, you can see that my feet were kicked up just hanging out. I got that open door policy, so if you need to come in and talk about anything, you're welcome to do so. I have no sailors except my first class. He don't need to come talk to me about nothing, right? I just need to tell him to get to work. So, the NAVADMIN. The NAVADMIN came out talking about what had previously come out about no more transgender service members. The Reddit lines, and we're all up in arms about it. I'm very much a person to keep personal things out of it, feelings out of it, right? And kind of like, hey, man, like, that's the order that's being put out right now. You got to go with the order being put out right now. I don't think it's unlawful. You could like it, not like it, right? And that's what I always go back to. But if you read through it, it's very long. It's like 10 pages long, right? If you read through it in the first couple pages, when we say couple, I think 3 or 4, I think it gives them a pretty good out, right? Talking about, like, don't have to pay back re-enlistment bonuses if they got an SRB or something like that. It's a voluntary separation. They get 2 times as much if they're over 6 years. I think nothing if it's under. I didn't read it in depth. I don't have any sailors that it's impacting directly under my charge. So honestly, I didn't read the whole thing, but I skimmed enough through it to kind of get a gist of it. And that's that, man. But of course, Reddit, woo, angry little freaking sailors, angry. We talked a little bit about it on the last show about it, some of the things that people were talking about and what can you do and this and that. And again, I think it was kind of cut out pretty well to give them a good out, right? Meaning, like, it wasn't just a clear, like, fuck you, you're out now. There's some good money in there, things like that. But at the same time, it's not always about money. For many of them, I'm not going to say all of them, because I think we know that there's people out there that joined. I've talked to them. I've maybe even been stationed with them. You can see it on social medias when you go, through Reddit posts or other posts in other places that, admittedly join for the benefit, knowing that they would get their gender dysphoria or whatever they have going on taken care of, free, quote unquote, free of charge under the medical benefits that the military provided. And, everyone's going to say, well, the military, you got to get out of the military, whatever you can. And yeah, I get that. I get that. Right. But like, I'm also, I think the word is, what's that word? I always hear people on the TV talk, cynic. No, someone help me out that's smarter. Like, I want to believe that people are joining the military to serve their country. We know that's not true. A lot of people fucking say it out loud like, oh, it's just a job. And I think that's the wrong attitude to have, because it should be a lot more than a job. And it's not going to be just a job when missiles and shit are flying at your head. And that's something I'd like to talk to maybe some sailors from the Truman about in the future or something. Like, through all their combat operations and everything they were going through, like, did some go into the beginning of that deployment or wherever they're at in their career thinking, oh, it's just a fucking job, whatever. And after that deployment, are they thinking, oh shit, now I get it a little bit. It's more than just a job. Or are they kind of like, nope, it's still just a job, and I didn't sign up to be shot at, so I'm going to get out now. Like, maybe they're undecided, maybe they're already decided one way or the other. You know what I mean? Get what I'm saying? Someone in the chat, let me know. Just because that's interesting, right? Because, like, as my old RDC said, some years ago, we didn't join to die for our country. We joined to kill other people who want to die for their country. And I'm down with that, right? But with that, it's like there is the option and opportunity for us to die, right? Whether it's in training, in real combat, accident, oopsies, whatever it is, right? We got Braden. Did you read up on the former VCNO getting charged with the bribery, highest ranking officer to be charged? Oh, that's a good one there. Let me pull something. Let me see if I can pull that up. I saw the headline. VCNO bribery. Let's see if we could get I don't know if that's going to be a good one. What should we go with? USNI News or Department of Justice article? Let's go DOJ. Cheers if you're partaking tonight. Partake responsibly. Let me see. We got, boom. Here we go. Admiral Robert Burke, 62, Coconut Creek, Florida, was found guilty today of bribery in connection with accepting future employment at a government vendor. I might have covered this when it first broke out. Very shallow, not in depth at all. But this has come full circle now, and now it's found guilty. Here's the big bold here. I'm not going to read through this whole thing. When you abuse your position and betray the public trust and to line your own pockets, it undermines the confidence in the government you represent, said U.S. Attorney Pirro. Our office, with our law enforcement partners, will root out corruption, be it bribes or illegal contracts, and hold accountable the perpetrators, no matter what title or rank they hold. I think that's awesome, right? Although I am a big fan of Fat Leonard, right? Admittedly, there's a podcast out there. Go check it out. Or I've talked about it several times. I think he was doing really good work for us. There's a bit where you can start taking too much, and that started with that commander and a lot of other people in 7th Fleet. And in this case right here also, like, very significant, very obvious abuse of power and just abuse of everything here. According to court documents, and as evidence proved at trial, blah, 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 blah. Damn, I'm not reading all that. The two co-defendants, Kim and Messenger, were the co-CEOs of Company A and provided a workforce training pilot program to a small component of the Navy from August 2018 to 2019. The Navy terminated a contract with Company A in late 2019 and directed Company A not to contact Burke. Ooh, that's a big... Don't contact them. I bet they contacted. What else we got here from Braden's thoughts? You can't really read it on screen there too much. That's fine. I'll read it out loud. He did all that for a guaranteed job of $500,000 per year. Very dumb. 4-stars can easily land high-paying 6-figure or 7-figure consulting jobs. Yeah, I mean, and that's something else. I'm fucking tongue twisted today. Someone asked. As I was cruising through Reddit. Someone asked, like, I wonder what the CNO Admiral Franchetti is doing nowadays. Right? It's like, I don't dislike the lady. I don't know the lady. I'm sure she's super nice, right? One of those, like, everyone's nice and cool to have a beer with. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not concerned about how her livelihood is. She was a fucking O-10, right? Lots of years served, a big paycheck. Her pension was going to be just fine and help her live a comfortable life, okay? Whatever VA disability rating she gets, I'm sure that will help out. And just as Braden said here, some consulting job that she lands in the future, should she choose to work, is going to pay nicely. Very nicely. So I'm not sitting here in old RV thinking, oh, I wonder if Admiral Franchetti is okay. Like, if that's you, maybe you're just a better person than me, right? But that's me, and I just don't know. Why are we worried about that? Like, I got to check my lights and see if my fucking CHT tank is filled up so I can flush it before I hit the road tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, we need to worry about other things than people that make a whole. And I talked about this with people that watch a lot of sports too, that always talking about sports. Which again, first person raised their hand used to be me. Who gives a shit? They make so much more. They don't even know who you are, right? They're not talking about you. They're not concerned about you. They're not concerned about you as a service member. They just do it for the USO tour when they got to, right? But you're sitting there exhausting yourself, using all this energy, putting it into all these people that do not give a darn about you. In December 21, Burke ordered his staff to award $355,000 contract to Company A to train personnel under Burke's command in Italy and Spain. Company A performed the training in there. Thereafter, Burke promoted Company A in a failed effort to convince another senior Navy admiral to award another contract to Company A. To conceal the scheme, Burke made several false and misleading statements to the Navy, including falsely implying that Company A employment discussions with Burke only began months after the contract awarded, omitting the truth on his required government ethics. I'm telling you, right there is how you could get everybody, I'm sure. If you go and read everyone's ethics form, the OGE 402, I believe it is, right? Especially the seniors, right? Your 06s and senior, right? The real senior people. We're not talking about chiefs and your senior chiefs. Maybe some master chiefs in the fleet force level, maybe. I doubt your command ones, okay? Command master chiefs really are just usually just normal dudes or chicks, right? But once you start getting the force and fleet levels, like you start really in another sphere of influence there, okay? Check the OG 402, 405, 450, something like that. Spot check me on it. I'm sure if you dug into those, you really start catching people up. Certainly you would. In October 22, Burke began working at Company A at a yearly starting salary of $500,000 and a grant of 100,000 stock options. Hey, Braden's thoughts, you were saying 500,000 ain't that much. Everyone watching this is 500,000 is a lot a year. Not to mention the 100,000, I'm sure it should be saying shares or something in there of stock options, right? Depending on what that's valued at, I'm sure he was thinking, okay, 500,000 a year, that's a lot of money. I'll live good, okay? But if I can get in that job position and really not turn it around like it's a bad company, but improve this company and really get that stock share price going high, that 100,000 is going to be worth more than anything out there. This case was investigated by the defense, whatever. Excuse me. I'm a little tired today. It's being, okay, whatever. Yeah, so that's that. I think is that the whole article pretty much? Yeah. Ass got busted. Good. Like I said, good. Go after more people, right? I think there's still a lot of people from Fat Leonard, all right, my hero in logistics or not, that haven't been charged and found guilty yet. So go finish, getting them too. And this is from the USNI News. Just some of that. Burke plans to appeal his attorney, Tim Parlatore. So this dude right here, right, Tim Parlatore, I think that's the same one that defended the U.S. Navy SEAL. I can't think of the name. I went drawing a blank all of a sudden. The one that was on trial for allegedly murdering a prisoner of war or wounded person. I can't think of the name. Whatever the guy's name is. You tired because you were in the gym for the first time. That's not true, Gary. Okay, I've gone every day this week, sucker. So Tim Parlatore, who's becoming a very famous defense lawyer for military members. It's interesting he takes this up, right? I think the jury got it wrong, but I don't blame the jury. Parlatore has told USNI News the jury wasn't given the full story. They weren't given all the evidence. So, when I hear things like that, why weren't they given all the evidence? Whose job is it to give? Aren't you part of the job to give all the evidence? Are you saying the prosecutors withheld evidence? They didn't, which, maybe they're not so honest either. Again, I think it's go ahead, convict him, send his ass to jail, whatever, like something like that. Or is he actually gonna do jail time? It's one of those like, okay, probably not, right? But should he? Yeah, fuck him. I don't give a shit. Look, man, like, hey, we make bad choices, we get in trouble. Who's not been there before, right? Who's not been there? Raise your hand if you've never made a bad choice. Raise your hand if you didn't get in trouble. Right? Exactly. Your hand's not fucking up. Right? But, yep, that's him. That's his ass. Fucking, man, VCNO. Roasted. He's cooked, bruh. As the young ones say, he's cooked, bruh. So, jumping back to, so the NAVADMIN came out about the trans thing. I think we're covered that. That it's out. Go read it. Check it out. Shit happens, man. Then we got, as this comes up, and I think I did a bad job on this on my personal show, so I'll admit it. We got that Mexican ship that crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge, right? And when I first saw it, I was like, damn, man, fucking idiots. Like, how the fuck do you crash into shit? Which, being on a ship that's had a tug plow into it and puncture a hole into it, like, the same question went through then of like, fucking, how do these things happen? Like, right, you have briefings, you have meetings, you brief, debrief, you plan, you ORM it. I'm not sure if the Mexican Navy has ORM, but you get what I'm saying if you in the Navy, right? So how do you go from like going up the river to crashing into the bridge? Like, you should know the height of the bridge, you should know your height, you should know how much space you have in between there, right? And then it like starts coming out, well, there's some kind of engineering casualty, right, with no steering, loss of steering. In our Navy, you go through all those things. How do we fix this? What's going to happen? Who's going to take control? We're going to do this. If we lose steering and we're really in trouble, we're going to go emergency anchor. Here are the closest emergency anchoring spots. So we'll try to get to this, or that. And we'll emergency drop anchor and boom, boom. It's an old sail ship that's like modified, I guess. I don't know nothing about the ship. The sad thing is there are 2 sailors that died, right? And then as more and more videos came out, which that whole, like, it would look like a walking around area pier that's along the Hudson right there, so you could walk under the bridge. It looked really nice area that it was like wrecking into after it, or while it wrecked into the bottom of the bridge. They had instead of like manning the rails, like, I don't know, it's called manning the ship. I've never heard of this, right? As much as I'm into traditions and stuff, I don't know about this. One of the guys I work with was telling me about it. But they had sailors rigged on the yard arms of all the masts, or the 3 masts that they had. At least 4 or 5 or more on each side. Go look up the videos yourself, okay? I'm not going to really show them here. And so when they wrecked, like, and it's chopping off that top of the aft mast, because it was going backwards. I didn't even realize when I saw the first one, I saw kind of quickly in the TikTok or whatever, it was like, you can just kind of look at it and it's like, fucking, how do they do that? And then as more videos come out and you keep watching it, it's like, wait, they were going backwards, right? That was the stern of the ship that was about to crash into that pier area. I say pier, it's like a walkway, whatever, but it was about to crash into that. And then all those people that were up there came crashing down. And you can see a lot of them, or I'm guessing all of them were actually like rigged in, like with lanyards and stuff, right? Safety harnesses of some sort. But still, 2 people died. And, that's sad. Anytime, and that's where I messed up, because I kind of made a lame joke about it. And I was like, I shouldn't have without knowing more facts. But it was just like, damn, like, that's not. As more news comes out, kind of feel bad. But yeah, for sailors to lose their life out there, and this is where I'm saying, like, kind of tying it in what I was saying earlier of like, sailors coming back on the Truman, are they thinking it's just a job, right? Because sometimes it's just a job, you can still die, right? They're doing something. I think that's pretty damn dangerous. I'm not one to go. I'm not an ET. I'm not climbing the fucking mast lanyard up with your harness on to go fucking fix antennas. I'd be shit in the bed if I had to do that part of my job. Okay. But here they are for like dressing up the ship and to show off the ship, and they're on their world tour of like friendship and partnership. And they're there to have fun and enjoy it. And they're getting an experience. I think they're just like Navy cadets, like getting ready to be commissioned or something, right? As like naval officers, and 2 of them died. So, rip, because that sucks, man. It just kind of goes like you never know when your last day is, right? Especially in the military services. You think, I'll be back Friday. I'm just going underway. It's just a routine underway. We're just going off the coast of San Diego. We're just going to go do some boat ops. We're going to grab some, Marines from Camp Pendleton. They're going to come out in their AAVs, just big metal tanky things that happen to float in the water and drive up into the back of our ship. And we're going to launch them, 3 or 4 times, to the beach. Like, let's say you're on an amphib, and this is something that happened some years ago, and then one of them decides it doesn't want to float. Right? Just a training. Just regular old training, right? Just a job. And then one of them decides not to float, and it sinks, and boom, you lose, the 5 or 6 Marines that are in it. All right, so that's where I go to. Like, it's not just a job. It is very serious. You should take it serious, and you should not think of it as just a job, right? What else do we got tonight? I think that's it on the news. Let me wet the whistle. Topo Chico twist with the lime. Twist of lime. We're like maybe a little tequila in there just take the edge off. All right, let's get into something fun because that was kind of heavy. All right, I put on here that we're going to talk about who has the best. It's Taco Tuesday. I did not eat no tacos today. As Gary said, I went to the gym for the first time ever in my life today, and I sweated. And when I was sweating, it smelled like tortillas. So that tells me that I've been eating too many tortillas lately. I really haven't. I've been trying to cut back. Tortillas are so unhealthy for me. They're one of the worst things I could eat for my personal body, right? So I just had some meat that I cooked up over the days. Well, Sunday with some beans. Just left it at that. That was it. Trying to do something here. Point is, tacos. Who has better Mexican food? Who has the best tacos? Texas or California? Let me know what you think way down in the comments below. Drop it in the chat. Who do you have? Texas or California best tacos? I'll tell you this. As an enjoyer of the Mexican cuisine, I've not found a place. I found one place here in Texas, in San Antonio to be specific, that does good, street style tacos. Now, me growing up as a kid, all right, we had the crunchy tacos, right? They were very good. My mom cooked them great. I still cook them for the kids. Some people call them the white tacos, like white people tacos. I don't know. I grew up with crunchy tacos. In Texas, they do a lot of crunchy tacos as well. So I enjoy it. But what I don't enjoy is some of the flavorings of that crunchy taco. Gary thinks that Texas has the better Mexican food or tacos. Okay, interesting. All right, that some of this Texas food has. My Mexican side of the family has roots here. Both sides of my family have roots here in Texas. But the food I grew up eating had a lot more flavor and different flavor. I don't know if it's, that's something. Let me deep think into that. Was it just different flavor or was it a lot more flavor than what I'm experiencing today here, right? I've had some crunchy tacos here where I was not impressed, right? Because the ground beef it just wasn't that good. I had one time, the ground beef didn't even look cooked all the way, okay? And into a taco, that just left me perplexed. Like, what the fuck? Why does this meat look half pinkish, which it's beef, so like if you get a burger that's like medium, that's fine. Okay, medium well, that's okay. So I kind of thought about the same thing. I ate it still. But it just kind of made me like, there should be more spices on this to give it more color. where if it was undercooked, you'd be able to barely be able to tell, right? But I could tell, and it left me scratching my head. I didn't like that. Had some tacos, some other places that were good. Again, the beef just seemed a little underwhelming. Okay, I have found one taco spot. I don't know the name of it. It's like tacos. It's a taqueria. I can't say that word, y'all, so don't come at me, okay? They had like street style tacos, pretty damn good, very much like a Tacos El Gordo. If those in San Diego familiar with, all right. Not too pricey, right? Last time I got them, oh, no, that's somewhere else. Last time I got all that, it was about like, I got enough tacos to feed the crew and supply, maybe like 30 tacos. It was probably around like $65 or something, $75. So whatever that maths out to. Yes, Gary. I don't know if that's a statement or a question. If you're able to use correct punctuation, that'd help me out. I am in San Antonio, yes. So yeah, those street tacos are pretty good. It's the only spot I know around here though that has street tacos like that. Everywhere else, you could do a soft taco, which I think there's a difference maybe. You let me know. Is there a difference between a soft taco and a street taco? Ooh, excuse me. A crunchy taco. And then super big here, right, in the Mexican food, is the fajitas, right? It's really interesting how, like in California, they'll call all the like beef, it'll just be, it's carne, right? It's carne asada. Here, it's fajita. And maybe I'm just not, learned enough to be like, what's the fucking difference? They're both and the cuts of meat are different, so I know that. But really, it's just like, guys, it's two different cuts of beef, spiced very similarly to each other, that you're just throwing in a tortilla. So what's the big deal here of trying to like make it a big deal? I don't know. Maybe it's just a Texas, California thing. I don't know. You let me know if you're from either one. Now, California, I've talked about Texas food. I did have tacos. There's this place right outside the park right here. It's called Tapatios. I went there one time, got some menudo on like a Sunday. Excuse me. Got some menudo. Menudo was okay. I don't care where you get menudo from. If you get it from a restaurant, it's not as good as anything I'm going to cook for myself or get from my grandma or my mom, okay? Or from anyone's house. It's not going to be as good, okay? It's like they forget the bay leaf or something. I don't know. That being said, menudo was okay. Not nearly enough like tripe and hominy. It was weird. And I was like, yo, can I get some tacos? And I asked for some. I'm a like tripas, cabeza, lengua taco guy, right? I'm the one that lives on the extreme. Okay, I'm not like, ooh, let me get pollo. And there's a funny reel that I sent around or something, I reposted or something, right? Like it's like it's so basic just to be like, I want chicken, pork, or beef, right? No, I go for the body parts that are not used regularly. Okay, and I brought it home and I opened them up. They're wrapped in the foil. And I opened it up, and it was a flour tortilla, like one of the mini ones, kind of looked like the Mission ones, with the meat in it. And that was it. There was I'm not even an onion guy, but there wasn't even no onions. There was no cilantro. There were no limes. The little bit of sauces that I did have, I used on some other food. And I was just really lost as to where the fuck the rest of the taco was at. Okay, I was really lost. Now, on the other side, you go to California, you go to Tacos El Gordo, you get street tacos, you get TJ tacos, whatever you want to call them. They're very good, right? I would say they're not any better than the street taco spot that I found here over on West Ave. They're not any better than that. But one thing California does love to do, as I've complained about plenty of times, is they love to put avocado on everything, right? California finds themselves as like the California fucking avocado capital of the world, or of themselves. And the only thing you got to do to make it California is to slap avocado onto it, give you an upcharge of $3, right? And it's California style all of a sudden. And that's mad fucking annoying. Okay, when that one avocado costs $3 by itself, and you're not even giving me the whole avocado, you're only giving me a couple little slices off of it, right? And then you want to charge me $3, like you getting a 500% return off of one avocado. You're fucking nuts. You're nuts, California, okay? And French fries do not belong in fucking everything, okay? And just because you put French fries and avocado in it doesn't make it California style. It makes it diabetic, fucking heart, cholesterol, fucking heart disease style, okay? That's someone coming with heart problems right now, okay? So, in the end, we'll wrap this up. Texas tacos, Mexican food, versus California tacos and Mexican food. The winner is Arizona. Because that's where I'm from. That's where I learned to cook. And my shit's the best. All right. The winner is Arizona. I think Arizona has a good balance being in between both places, right? Of getting influenced, right? And adapting from both. All right. So I'm going to go with Arizona food. It's better. You argue with your mom about it and drop her name in the comments and let her know to argue back. All right. Other than that, I think that's it for tonight. We're just dropping in, doing a little live show. I thought I was going to have a bigger episode 150, right? Episode 150 is like, oh my God, that's 150. That's a huge milestone, and it is, right? We're going strong. But, you know, some shit fell through, some shit didn't happen, so I just got to keep on, right? And, you know, that's all good. So, we'll wrap there. I'll be on the road the rest of the week. We are going to have, as long as everything holds through, right? We're going to have a special show on Sunday with a guest live around lunchtime Central, right? So tune in for that. I'll make sure I'll get some posts up and everything like that. I'll try to promote it more, and tune in for that. That's going to be Sunday morning, 10 Pacific. Well, no, 11, 9 Pacific, 11 Central, whatever. Do your maths on that. Come hang out, you know, have a Sunday drink, or maybe a little wine and crackers, you know, if you got to go to church afterwards or before, okay? I think that's all we got for tonight. Thanks for stopping by, everyone who's tuned in. Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like the video. All right, subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. And if you find value in this and you think someone else might find value in it, go ahead, drop us a share button, give it to somebody else. They might like it too. All right. And don't forget, these views and opinions are of myself only. They do not represent the DOD. I'm just some guy with a microphone and a camera doing a podcast, you know, that people say too many of us are doing. You know who you are. All right. That's all we got for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch y'all on the next one. We out.